Bienvenidos. Welcome once again. I'm in the beautiful, mystical state of New Mexico. And this time, I'm in the incredibly beautiful White Sands National Park. It's incredible how much I've had to travel just to get to this place of profound simplicity. And this relates to today's topic, which is the final section of Chapter 2 of Finding Your Way of the Peace Built. If you don't know already, my name is Nicholson, and this is a space where I like to speak about things that have unfolded in my heart in hopes that it will unfold your heart as well. And one of the main things that we are all striving for to attain a sense of completeness in our lives is success. To imagine a vision in our head and then have the focus to put it into action. The feeling of realizing your dreams, there's nothing like it. I've been wanting to come here for a couple years, and I observed a picture of it in a place that had nothing to do with a place that looked like this. But in my heart, I knew it could happen. And that's because my heart was still. Through my observations, I have seen that stillness truly is the key to success. And this is because it is the greatest soundtrack. As I have observed these great lands, these snow-capped mountains, these white sands, the vast grasslands, I have seen vividly that there is no theme song going on to give them an artificial sense of motivation. And yet, they are the largest things in life that I have ever seen. There is an incredible stillness that's involved with every massive thing. Because it's the greatest soundtrack. Now, what do I mean by that? Typically, people say a soundtrack is a piece of music that helps someone to go into incredible action in a movie, a TV show, something like that. But if we break down the word into sound and track, for me, it means something that tracks sound. And the lives that we live are all a consequence of the sounds we have created and the sounds we have listened to. Even as we sit here today, everything around you, in a way, is sound. It is vibration. So therefore, sound is what grows. Sound is what builds on top of each other. And if success is nothing but a coherent stream of action, the consequence of that, and all things are sound, this must mean that the best way to create a coherent sense of action, a coherent sense of moving the things around you, it must be the thing that is beyond all sound, which is silence, stillness. If you don't know how to be still, You can only replicate your past. There needs to be a sense of restarting to be able to evolve from something different than what you did before. Now, if you're totally living from the past, you're going to skip over the present and duplicate the same thing into the future. And all the while you miss this gift, this present, that was given to all of us as a chance to bring something new into the world, to bring something that no one has ever seen before. And every new thing that comes into existence, it comes from stillness. To be in a place like this, from where I was in the state, I had to drive 4 miles. And now I'm sitting here in this vast desert alone. And if my mind were freaking out of all kinds of things of what could happen, about how I could get lost, about how I could run out of water, there's no way I would be able to sit here calmly and speak to you. There's no sense of temptation to give into the passing fears of my mind. Now, temptation comes from the word tempest. Tempest is a storm. So whatever tempts you brings you not into a storm outside in the weather, but the weather within you. If you're going straight on a journey, you have to be still in terms of your direction, not wavering this way or the other. And there could be all kinds of distractions, things that destroy your track, that pull all kinds of things within you, lower things that want to express themselves, but aren't helpful for your journey. So if you're going straight into the desert like this to experience the vast creation around us without the noise, you may get sidetracked by so many things, like there's a place where you could stop for candy. There's a movie you could see on the way. There's a friend who just called you. Oh, you don't want to be on Do Not Disturb because you don't want to think that they're going to think you're irresponsible. You want to always be in constant contact with something other than your focus. Something that pulls you into a state of emotional balance, into something that tempts you into a storm of anxiety, of fear, of worry. All of these things are optional. They're created from within you. And you can see that when you are still. Just like the planets appear out of nothing. The thoughts, the emotions, they appear out of nothing. So if you can achieve this state of stillness, there's nothing you can't achieve within reason in the world. It is the foundation of all intelligent action. There's a beautiful story of Odysseus, who after 10 years of war, this is a mythology by the way, not real, he was sailing through the ocean with his crewmates, and along the way, he ran into what's called as sirens, which are beautiful mermaid women-like creatures who sing to sailors along their way in attempts to lure them into the trap where obviously they will die. They sing sweet songs of knowledge and beauty, which is something that a man on an adventure would love to partake in. But Odysseus was a different kind of man. He was a hero. And so what he did on the way through this siren-infested waters, he put earwax inside of his crew members so they couldn't hear it. But he himself wanted to experience the temptation because he knew that if I can experience it and maintain my stillness, I can have a transformative personal evolution within myself. It doesn't come from ignoring the temptation that we evolve. It comes from embracing it, being aware of it, and then transcending it. So he instructed his crewmates to wrap himself around the mast, and no matter what he says, don't free me from this bondage, because I want to be still. And this is what happened. They made it through. And it's important to know that he was going home. He wasn't going on another campaign or a detour. He wasn't planning on distracting himself. He was planning on going home to his wife and kids, to be someone in the place where he left originally. So at times, going home is the most important thing over any jewels that you could find in the world. And this home, once again, is stillness. So the other blockade that prevents success, other than temptation, is embarrassment. These two things, temptation and embarrassment, prevent all kinds of human genius from expressing itself. So embarrassment, if we look at the origin of the word, it literally means blockade. It is an emotional blockade that prevents you from acting as best as you could. So an obvious example of this is when someone is public speaking. They get up on stage, maybe it's comedy, maybe it's philosophy, whatever it may be, they're in the flow state, ideas are coming out flawlessly, and then they catch someone's eye and they can't quite understand what is this look in this person's eye. And then all of a sudden they get tight, they get choked up, they get worried that what they're doing on stage is ridiculous in the eyes of that person, not in the eyes of them, but in how they might appear to the audience. But if you are still, if this thought comes in that I'm not sure what this person is trying to express to me right now, there is a space between you and that thought. And even if that thought does arise, you can still decide to focus on the stream of thought that you are trying to deliver. If you can't extricate yourself from a thought, you will allow that stream to go over and over and over again into a blockade, like a dead end. Just like if you're driving on the highway and you take a wrong turn and you reach a cul-de-sac, there's nowhere else to go. But if you have a profound sense of inner stillness, there is only an option to go on a detour if you want to have a scenic route. But you know always that there's a main mission to stay focused on. That's your choice. If you are not afraid of being embarrassed because you know that you are the opening itself, there's nothing you can't do in this world. There's no person you can't become. There's no message you can't say. Because you live with a sense of discretion, or viveka, which is simply understanding this is me and this is not me. And this is the fundamental game of a human being, is to realize themselves. This, from my perception, is the only obligation from life to the individual, to the human being, is that we realize what we are. And then everything else after that becomes a celebration. It doesn't become a cage that you have to get this done or else I'm a failure. This is the fundamental success as a human being, is to be still. Because if you can sit here and do nothing, then you have achieved the highest thing you can. Because this allows you to join everything. And when we look closely at the desiring process, we can see that it's all for connection. Like me, I want to orate great messages because I want to connect to an audience. I want to connect to that fire within me that wants to say things like this and sit in a place like this. You want a promotion at your job because this connects you to more resources, and then you can connect to more people and go to more places around the world. You want to work out because you want to connect with more men or women. Or you want to lift heavy things, or you want to connect with a certain higher self that you know is there. And if you forego all of these forms and you go straight to the end, then you're done. You realize that there's nothing to wait for. And once there's nothing to wait for, there's everything to do. Don't limit yourself with the tiny thoughts that you have in your head. The controller of life is within you. It is you. All of what we see here is just a vast drama. And when you close your eyes, you realize that the movie ends. And you're just projecting everything. And then once you realize that, you can take on an active role instead of a passive one, and realizing that you have to react to things. You can sit here non-reactive for the rest of your life if you decide that. And the decision is simply to cut off every other option, every other way of action for the one that you chose. And it's easy to decide that one important thing because there's only one stillness. The foundation of achievement. So that's all for today. It's quite hot outside. I don't want my camera to overheat and end the video prematurely. This was a concise message, and I hope that the transmission settled within your heart. Maybe not now, but tomorrow. Once again, my name is Nicholson, the host of The Peace Build. This is my final video in Nuevo Mexico, and it's been nothing but a beautiful time here. If you have the chance to come to this magical place, you should do it. If this spoke to you, leave a like, comment, subscription, share with your friends, whatever you feel like is best for your well-being. My mission is to grow this channel as much as it can and continue to grow my business along the way. If you need help navigating stillness, realizing your dreams, or even just opening the door to where you can focus on your dreams, I do one-on-one consultations. I've spoken with people from all around the world, from all different backgrounds. And I love to do it. You can go through the link in my bio if that's of interest to you. So I'm going to go back and enjoy the white sand and go deeper into the stillness and continue to awaken the riches within my heart. And I hope you do the same. Peace.